get you kind of quickly updated on what happened yesterday and potentially how that affects Ole Miss. This won't be a long podcast, more of a quick hit type thing. But in the meantime, do me a favor and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Hit the bell for notifications on all of these. Subscribe to join the Facebook group. Follow me on Twitter at the Stephen Willis. Follow the site or whatever on Twitter at Old Positively. Join our Discord server. Join our subreddit. Reddit. Basically, we are setting up to be wherever you already are, we're there as well. So it's an easy transition. We're not trying to get you to go anywhere, except that you do have to go there once and hit the button for subscribe or join or something like that, and everything will just populate on your timeline. You don't have to go anywhere. This is completely free content. This is basically what is needed in this era of everything costs $10 a month, and they just nickel and dime you to the point where you have 15 apps and all of a sudden you're paying them $200 for apps and your internet or whatever. It's like a $600 total bill or something. And this is a way that you can pare a little bit off of that. Or take that $9.99 or $4.99 or whatever it is and go get ESPN Plus. Go get HBO Max. Go get something you want, because this takes that off the table. Because basically, as I've said many times before, old school print journalism is dead. It died. It got sick in the 90s whenever the written word caused your grandmother to fall for email scam after email scam. It got really sick during clickbait. And now it's just not believable. It's not credible. Every time you hear something, it is probably false. How many 1 for 15s on Ole Miss signing days can you go through before you realize that these guys are weathermen? That's all there are. And that's fine. If that's what you like, that is great. But if you just want to hit the high points, you just want to move on, if you are going to Facebook and want to get updated on Ole Miss, it's all there. If you go to YouTube, there's videos. It's all there. It's whatever you enjoy to do, however you like to consume media, we are there. Period. We're not going to try and get you to go to a second location. We're not going to extort money out of you as fast as we can, as much as we can, because it's yours. You deserve it. Information should be free. Being an Ole Miss fan and being informed about Ole Miss should not cost you money. It shouldn't. It didn't until the last 20 years or so. And the downfall since this Rivals 247 Sports era has taken over college sports is precipitous. So just remember that whenever you're going forward. We're doing the subscription. Join the Facebook group. Join the Discord server. You get notifications. Sign up for all of them. And that way you'll always know when we go live. So that's that. Now, why are we here on Sunday morning? We're not normally here on Sunday morning. Well, we're here on Sunday morning to congratulate the Sun Belt for potentially the biggest day in their conference's history. Congratulations to Billy Napier and Louisiana for going on the road and beating a ranked Iowa State team. Potentially they'll be ranked next year or next week or whenever it comes out this week. I don't know how they're going to do in the polls yet because we're just kind of getting into this. Congratulations to Coastal Carolina for beating Kansas on the road twice in 2 years. Now, beating Kansas isn't really that big of a thing, but it just kind of adds on with the Louisiana thing. And, of course, Arkansas State going to Kansas State and pulling an upset there after losing to Memphis last week. That's all major stuff. And they were a missed extra point away from beating UTSA, Texas State beating UTSA in regulation. They ended up losing in double overtime. Appalachian State won because Appalachian State wins. So it is a banner weekend for the Sun Belt. And I think we need to celebrate what they did, because moments like this does not come around often. Now, you've heard me say many times in the last week or so, this is basically a 10-game spring practice. There are no repercussions, no consequences, unless you're Jay Hobson at Southern Miss. But just because that is true does not mean you can't celebrate what the Sun Belt did. Last year, Blake Anderson losing his wife to cancer and coming back, it is a feel-good moment for him to get this upset. Billy Napier, he was on the short list for both Ole Miss and Mississippi State. He just made Iowa State quit. A Sun Belt team made a Big 12 team quit. That happened. And Arkansas State beating Kansas State after losing last week to Memphis. So how good is Memphis? It looks like they might be pretty good. But in this COVID season, we have to take everything we see, celebrate the high points for sure, but kind of ignore the low points, because there's going to be both. There's going to be both. And you can look at it to where, I don't know, basically, like I said, celebrate the high points, ignore the low points, and just make it through this season the best you can. It's essentially a 10-game spring practice. We are now at 13 days until kickoff in Vaughn Hemingway Stadium against the Florida Gators. Hopefully in the next day or two, we are going to have information a little bit about the scrimmage that took place. The defense dominated the last one. JRP did not play. Played the previous two, and the offense dominated. Last scrimmage, they got third downs at a 10% clip. That's not good. Can't do that. Let's see how that got turned around in this one. All right. And just another descriptor for all these new fans that are coming on board listening to this podcast. Thank you very much. The numbers have been off the chart, just blowing me away. We're a free content source. We are where you are already. Now, you still have to push the button to subscribe, but we're going to populate on your timeline. We're going to populate on YouTube. There's social media all through, and we're going to go. Now, we're not in the breaking stories business. That's not what we're doing, because let's just be real here. You can go on Twitter and on social media within 5 minutes of a story breaking and get that information anyway. So we're going to use that. So we're going to take that 5 minutes later and go live with a recap. Let whoever breaks the story enjoy their 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it is at this point. In the spring, we're looking at being an all-video podcast. Basically a TV network covering Ole Miss, and we're probably going to also do Mississippi high school football. So we're going to get guests, and we're going to do a whole bunch of stuff. But this is just step one. This is just the beginning. So please be patient. We want this to be a slow growth. But part of that slow growth will be getting subscribers and followers and people to join our Facebook group already there. So when we go video, there's a base to draw from. So keep that in mind. And all in all, I'm going to change the subject a little bit here. This weekend felt a little bit more normal than last weekend. Last weekend felt like a preseason NFL game. This weekend felt like a Jacksonville Jaguars NFL game. So what is next week going to feel like? Well, next week also I'll be out of town, so we're going to bring the podcasting gear so we can drop a POMcast if we need to, like a 5 or 10 minute thing. But we'll be out of town. I'm going to visit my nephew for the first time, and looking forward to that, so you couldn't keep me away from that. So I'll just bring my POMcasting equipment and hook you up with information if anything breaks while I'm out. But don't expect much from me next week. There's probably going to be a couple around the SEC shorts to fill that weekend time frame, but don't expect too much. Basically, I think what we're going to do on those shorts is drop one on Friday and drop one on Saturday morning at about 8 o'clock, and then drop one on Monday. And that'll replace the re-air of the POMcast that is airing Saturday morning or something. We'll figure something out with that. But as you know, our schedule right now is 8 o'clock in the morning is the re-air of the previous day's POMcast. 10 o'clock is the POMcast. And roughly 2 o'clock if we have it, once we have it, around the SEC shorts. And on Thursdays, once we start on the 24th, you can expect to see around the SEC at 2 o'clock on Thursday. It's the beginning of appointment television. Right now it's kind of appointment radio, but it's the beginning of appointment television. These are all available on demand as well on our YouTube channel and on our Twitch channel. Twitch lasts about 2 weeks. The boot camp series that we did a couple of weeks ago about the Ole Miss offense, we had a high school coach come in and break down everything, and that thing is rolling off our Twitch channel by the day. So there's still a couple of more on those on our Twitch channel if you want to see them. If you missed them, you can catch them on our YouTube channel. We have a boot camp playlist, so you can go down to that. And on our YouTube channel, we have greatest games and Ole Miss history. We have pretty much all of the 2019 season full games, a lot of them without commercials. So you can just kind of spend the next 2 weeks, ready to go. Once 2020 hits, we're going to find games on YouTube and put them in the playlist as well. So you'll be able to rewatch the games on demand on our channel. So that's pretty cool. Again, follow me at the Stephen Willis, or the podcast POMcast at Positively. Follow us on Twitch at Positively Ole Miss. Join our Facebook group at Positively Ole Miss. Join our Discord server. Join our subreddit. We're basically everywhere. I think we're on 10 or 11 platforms at this moment, and that's only going to go up as this grows. Again, we want to be where you are already. You don't have to go anywhere to see it. You don't have to pay any money to see it. You just want to see it, it's there. So, I'm Stephen Willis. This is